Welcome back to Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona. And Bunky over at Vineyard Chicks challenged me to show what I do to take down my garden. What am I doing? But wait, we better look at what it looks like before I rototilled. So we have just enjoyed our community garden. We have gotten so much food out and so much food that I gave away. But today is the day that we're going to tear everything down. So Joe's over helping me, and he's going to take all those posts out first. And it has been a very successful garden. We have harvested way more than 500 pounds of vegetables. But so I'm just walking along, and all the pumpkins and most of the squashes are gone already. We haven't dug the potatoes yet. And it has been great. And so it's just a matter of pulling out plants that are done. So this is some really tall romaine lettuce that I wanted to save the seeds. So I just let it grow really tall so I could collect the seeds. And then the Hudsons came to help. Now this is a great family, 8 kids, and I just asked them if they wanted to do have some vegetables. And first thing they said, put us to work first. If you're giving us vegetables, you put us to work. And so they have worked Monday and then today. So thank you. We finished getting all the vegetables out. That is not my fence. So those are not my weeds. And we dug potatoes and we dug all kinds of stuff. Now, the cauliflower and the Brussels sprouts over here, beautiful plants, but they haven't hardly started. Weird summer, too much smoke, I think. And a friend of mine, the Hudsons, they have 8 children. They have been over on Monday and then again today. And they just helped me immensely. And then I let them take all the vegetables. You know, when you have a big family, there's a lot of food going in and out. Now we filled the 2 compost bins with the straw. Those beans aren't ready, but I just got done rototilling everything in. Now, if I was going to have these plots again, I would not have rototilled. I would have just put the straw all over everything and just left it. But because I've decided to really work my yard next year, I'm not going to have a community garden. So Shannon, Mrs. Hudson, is going to try to get my plots. Not broccoli, Brussels sprouts. It's not as big, but they have started making Brussels sprouts. And depending on her weather, these could stay in here till November. And she could just come and pick them whenever she wanted to. I gave them a whole bunch of tomato cages, a whole bunch of stuff they're going to take home. And there's some newer carrots growing, so she's going to leave those in for a while. And she pulled up most of the parsnips, but there's a clump right there. But it's been a good garden, big garden. And I've really enjoyed it. I've loved being over at the community garden. But with just me and Joe and us having 2 gardens a year, I just don't really need all this space. So it's a matter of doing a lot of stuff every year. What are you going to do with your straw? Are you going to keep it? You're going to rototill it in? You're going to lay it on top? Usually I lay it on top. This year it's in the compost bins and in that pile over there. So the next gardener can use it. And it will biodegrade a lot. In fact, these piles in a month or 2 will be half the size. And it'll just make some really great compost. So, Bunky, what am I doing with all my gardens? I'm putting them to bed. Now, any of the vines or some of the other plants that I didn't save, they didn't go to waste. Now, some of them are underneath the straw, of course. But then we're going to walk over and I'm going to show you how I filled almost an entire trailer. It's really quiet in the garden tonight, which surprises me because people only have, if we're lucky, 2 weeks of nice weather. And a lot of people have pulled things out, but the flowers are still blooming. They're looking beautiful. Deb takes care of these ones right here. Always beautiful. And she also has a love for zinnias like I do. And some people have taken stuff out. You know, I took all my pumpkins out, gave them to my girls, my grandkids. I gave them to the Hudsons. But this is what I did with all of the vines and other plants. So Bunky, they're not going to waste. These guys take them to their goats. And the goats have a heyday. A lot of times people will put zucchinis in here and all kinds of stuff. See, you can see a lot of my vines from my pumpkins. There's, some zinnias. Fell in a hole. And so that's not going to waste either. If we didn't have the trailer for this, we also have about 8 compost piles behind the shed. So things don't go to waste. They don't go in the trash. So Bunky, I hope you're satisfied with what I do, how I take it down. And I'm just so happy that the Hudsons will continue with the Brussels sprouts and the cauliflower, carrots, and a few other vegetables over there. And they'll just take down that last fence on the beans. They'll enjoy it. I don't have to worry about it and take it down before it was ready. The community garden's a great place. A month ago, it was just like so spectacular. But it's fall and it gets cold at night. Last night it was about 42 degrees. But I have to say, I've been very happy with the community garden. And it's been a good place to garden, and I've met a lot of great friends. So Bunky, thanks for challenging me on how I take down my garden. If you haven't met the Vineyard Chicks, make sure you stop on over. I'll have a link below. And have a great night.